2022 was a big year for movies. From nostalgic returns to new names, the box office was brimming with some amazing films that made us laugh, cry, and cheer for the protagonists on screen. And some of these films were so good, they've been breaking records since their release. So join us today as we check out all the box office hits that made over $100 million and broken other records this year, starting with Bullet Train. Closing right at $100 million, this Sandra Bullock and Brad Pitt film was a pretty fun comedy flick. With Pitt playing Ladybug and Bullock as his handler, the movie was decent enough for the fans, and the numbers show it. But while the duo may have received a good response here, their other film joined the $100 million club too, maybe doing even better than this one. That takes us to The Lost City. Now, this wasn't the biggest movie out there, but when it comes to box office revenue, The Lost City did pretty well too. It had Sandra Bullock in it after all, and we all saw how her previous movie fared on the charts. In fact, did you know that this is her 11th movie that crossed the $100 million mark? Pretty cool, right? In fact, The Lost City made it big with $105 million. Now that's a good number for a comedic action adventure flick, especially if you consider it's one of the few studio comedies passing $100 million in the USA after Once Upon a Time in Hollywood in July 2019. Then we have the super nostalgic Lightyear. We don't think anyone had doubts about the success of this movie. No, really. One of the most nostalgic characters of our generation being voiced by Captain America himself? How can such a movie fail? Sure, the movie didn't do as well as expected, but hey, $118 million isn't that bad a number either. Maybe people just wanted more of this nostalgic flick. We're sure a sequel could get us there if one ever happens. On number 4, we have Nope. We can't deny, Jordan Peele is the movie maker of our generation, with 3 consecutive hits on his list, and this third film hitting $121 million. The guy's literally a storytelling genius. And even though its successors, including Get Out and Us, did better at the box office, this one was in no way a disappointment at all. In fact, we loved watching Daniel Kaluuya here as we did in Get Out, and we're sure excited to see what other horror story Peele brings us next. After that, let's talk about Uncharted. Tom Holland became the hero of all generations after Spider-Man No Way Home, so obviously a game-turned-movie starring him aside Mark Wahlberg had to do well. But hey, mind you, this movie's got more than just these 2 characters. The $148 million grossers got the legendary games fan following behind it, along with some other great faces including Antonio Banderas and Tati Gabrielle. Again, maybe not the biggest movie of the year, but we won't rate it any lesser than the other amazing flicks we've talked about today. 6th on our list is Elvis. After its success at the Cannes Film Festival, Elvis opened to roaring applause at the box office and scored a whopping $150 million. Not bad for a Baz Luhrmann musical. Just like Bohemian Rhapsody before it, this biopic about the legendary musician was full of glitz, glamour, and a whole lot of nostalgia that automatically pulled people in and made them a fan. But we got to commend Austin Butler's Elvis act because man, the guy can rock and roll like a pro. Then on number 7, we've got Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Remember the whole teeth debacle with the original Sonic movie? The guy redoing the animation probably never thought the second installment of the film will do so well. But hey, here we are with $190 million credited to the film's name, and we bet the producers can't be happier. With Ben Schwartz voicing Sonic and Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik, the film's a wild ride of laughter and emotions, and we can see why the audiences loved it so. And now that we see its success, should we also expect a third Sonic movie in the works? Guess we'll have to wait to find out. Next, we have Thor: Love and Thunder. Now let's be clear, Marvel has been deteriorating a little when it comes to storytelling, but even then, 2 of its releases crossed the $100 million mark this year. First of them is Thor's 4th movie, a colorful saga of love and thunder starring the ever-present Chris Hemsworth along with Natalie Portman, Tessa Thompson, and the amazing Christian Bale. With $343 million to its name, it's not the roaring success Thor Ragnarok was, and we've got some comments to make about the quality of the film, but even then, watching one of the original Avengers made through life after the snap has got a nostalgic quality to it no other movies got. We just hope Thor and Taika Waititi get their beep together before the next movie because this version of God of Thunder is not what we signed up for. There's also Minions: The Rise of Gru. The crazy world of Gru and his minions has never been boring, and this movie just proved that by scoring $360 million in sales. Now that's a great number for a movie that's probably squeezed the life out of its original story. Maybe it was the 4th of July opening, the charm of the illegible minions, or that hilarious TikTok trend, but this movie managed to exceed all expectations, and as fans of Steve Carell and the first Despicable Me film, we're very proud. Following that up with our favorite, The Batman. Out of all the unexpected successes we've had, this one's the most satisfying. Why? guys, this movie single-handedly proved that Pattinson is easily one of the best Batmans of our generation, and it generated $369 million in revenue. So there's that too. The gritty noir-style film was easily one of our favorites. Not only does this Matt Reeves film stand true to the vision and tone of Batman's origin, but it's also power-packed with performances from some of the greatest names in the cast, including Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman, Paul Dano as the Riddler, and unrecognizable Colin Farrell as the Penguin. The movie also washed the bitter aftertaste Batfleck's not-so-great performance left us with after Justice League. Even Snyder Cut couldn't do that. Safe to say, we're ready for a sequel and cannot wait to watch Pattinson back in action. Now let's talk about Jurassic World Dominion. If you're going to say that this franchise has overstayed its welcome, we don't disagree. But guess life or nostalgia actually did find a way here because the possibly final movie of the franchise was a huge success, making $376 million in its wake. We won't deny having the original cast, including Laura Dern, Sam Neill, and Jeff Goldblum, probably worked better for the movie than its story did, but even Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard didn't do bad while saving the mainland from the unruly dinosaurs. If we ignored the overused dinosaur versus man trope, the movie was almost enjoyable. At least the audience thought so, considering the numbers this movie made. There are also some honorary mentions, including Spider-Man No Way Home. Okay, we know this one came out last year, but don't forget, the movie was such a big hit it was re-released in 2022 with a more fun stuff version. And as with the original release, this one got a booming welcome too from the audience, becoming the 6th biggest movie of all time and grossing about $670 million domestically at the beginning of 2022. Now that's a successful movie for sure. And next, we have Everything Everywhere All at Once, which was also a pretty big hit when it comes to the box office. In fact, the movie almost reached $100 million with its box office revenue falling between $99.7 million to $100.7 million. Not too bad, eh? Then we have Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. This movie was easily one of the biggest releases of this year. With Doctor Strange and Wanda battling out the fate of America Chavez, the movie made it big despite critics and fans raising question about the movie's overall quality and deleted scenes. But despite the criticism, the movie made it big with $411 million. We absolutely loved the way the film dabbled in the horror genre. And of course, how can we miss the appearance of John Krasinski as Reed Richards and Haley Atwell as Captain Carter? Oh, and guys, Patrick Stewart as Professor X in a Marvel movie? Major fan moment right there. So if you're asking whether the movie deserved its millions, we say yes. Yes, it did. Finally, the biggest name of the year, Top Gun Maverick. Nostalgia, action, some tears and some laughs. All these emotions were a given with this sequel that came out after 36 whole years. But no one quite imagined the out-and-out success this movie received. In just a few weeks after its release, the movie became a box office marvel with $711 million to its name. And if that wasn't enough, right now, Top Gun Maverick stands at being the biggest sequel of all time in Hollywood. Now that's a soaring accolade only worth the best. But what else can you expect from a movie with a bucket load of nostalgia and Tom Cruise flying an actual F-18? Guaranteed success, that's what. That's a wrap for this video. Which of these box office hits was your favorite? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.